A student asks Cliff why Judaism is less valid than any other religion. Let's see what he has to say.
But if God made me a custom plan that works better for my people, why is that any less valid as well? He hands that down through his form of virtue for my time, for my people.
You bet.
Why is that any less valid?
It's not less valid, but what Jesus is claiming is to be the fulfillment of those prophecies that the great Hebrew prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, gave. So Jesus does not contradict the Old Testament. He claims to be the fulfillment of the law, the fulfillment of all those Old Testament prophecies. He claims to be Messiah for the Jew. And obviously, in the first century, the vast majority of followers of Christ were Jews. Which really drives you back to, did Jesus really rise from the dead? Because these Jews changed radically from a strict type of monotheism to believing in Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They changed from holding tightly to the Sabbath to worshiping on Sunday in celebration of the resurrection of Christ. They changed from strict Mosaic law to grace. Why? Why did devout Jews change like that in the first century? They insisted because Jesus Christ rose from the dead.
Cliff finishes with saying there that some of the Jews insisted that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and that's why they changed their ways. It's safe to say that Jesus was not the Messiah that the Jews were expecting, and ultimately they crucified him because he claimed to be the Son of God, which they didn't like. But the Jews that did believe in the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus, like Cliff mentions, went from their strict following of the law and their monotheism and their belief in only one God to worshiping on the Sabbath and their belief in the Trinity. And they ultimately changed their minds and started worshiping and following Jesus Christ because they believed in his resurrection from the dead.